Chosen one, God paused everything to tell you this. Listen closely. My beloved, if you are hearing this, understand something very important first. This moment was not random. Everything around you could have continued as normal, but it didn't. Your scrolling paused. Your attention narrowed. Your spirit leaned in. That is because heaven interrupted the noise to reach you. God says, I did not stop everything to frighten you. I stopped everything because you were about to miss what matters most. Chosen one, there has been a weight on your heart that you have not spoken aloud. You've carried it quietly, telling yourself you're strong enough, telling others you're fine. But God has seen the fatigue behind your discipline, the questions behind your faith, and the silence behind your strength. This message is not for everyone. It is for the one who kept going even when answers were delayed. My beloved, God wants you to know this clearly. You are not forgotten, delayed, or overlooked. What felt like stagnation was containment. What felt like silence was protection. What felt like loss was separation from what could not go where you are going. God says, I pause things because your next step requires awareness, not momentum. Listen closely now. There have been signs around you that you brushed off as coincidence. Repeated numbers, familiar words appearing unexpectedly, sudden memories, a feeling of being watched over even when alone. These were not accidents. These were confirmations meant to steady you, not confuse you. My beloved, you have been standing at the edge of a decision that changes the direction of your life. And heaven needed you to stop long enough to choose consciously, not react emotionally. God says, do not rush this next chapter. It is heavier than the last. You are entering a phase where alignment matters more than effort, where who you listen to matters more than how hard you try, where saying no will protect you more than saying yes ever did. There is also a warning wrapped in this message, and it comes from love, not fear. Someone around you does not see you clearly anymore, not because you changed for the worse, but because you outgrew the version of yourself they understood. Their confusion is not your responsibility. Do not shrink to make others comfortable. God says, Chosen one, I did not elevate your vision so you could negotiate it. My beloved, this is also a reassurance. What you are waiting for has not been canceled. It has been timed, and timing is an act of mercy. You may feel pressure to prove yourself, explain yourself, or hurry results. Release that pressure now. What is meant for you will recognize you without performance. God paused everything to tell you this one truth. You do not need to fear what is coming. You need to prepare for it. Preparation does not mean anxiety. It means clarity. It means rest. It means strengthening your inner life so your outer life can expand without breaking you. In the days ahead, pay attention to what drains you and what steadies you. One is being removed. The other is being increased. Trust this sorting. My beloved, you are not behind. You are right on time, just early enough to be warned, guided, and protected. God did not pause everything for many. He did it for you. Listen closely, stay grounded, and do not ignore the next nudge you feel. This was your moment of pause. What follows will move quickly, but now, you are ready. My beloved, now listen even more carefully, because this second movement carries instruction, not just reassurance. God did not pause everything only to comfort you. He paused everything to redirect you. There is a path you were about to take that looked logical, familiar, even safe. But heaven saw what you could not see yet. That path would have delayed you, drained you, or bound you to obligations that were never meant to last. God says, I stopped you because where you were heading would have cost you your peace. You may have felt resistance recently, plans not moving, people canceling, timing falling apart at the last moment. You might have questioned yourself, wondering if you were doing something wrong. My beloved, you are not failing. You are being restrained by grace. This is important now. Do not push what resists you repeatedly. Persistence is powerful, but discernment is wiser. When something is aligned, it does not require you to beg, chase, or compromise your values. God says, what belongs to you will cooperate with you. In this part, heaven is asking you to examine your motivations honestly. Ask yourself quietly, are you moving from faith or from fear? Are you choosing growth or familiarity? Are you listening to intuition or noise? My beloved, clarity is being restored to you step by step. That uneasy feeling you had was not anxiety. It was misalignment trying to get your attention. There is also something being revealed now about your environment. Not everyone around you wants to see you fail, but not everyone wants to see you rise either. Some people prefer the version of you that needed them. God says, do not confuse loyalty with limitation. You are allowed to change. You are allowed to outgrow roles. You are allowed to choose differently, even if others don't understand yet. In the coming days, you may feel prompted to pull back slightly. Less explaining, less reacting, more observing. This is not withdrawal, it is strategy. Silence is helping you hear guidance more clearly. My beloved, heaven is also sharpening your discernment about timing. Not everything needs an immediate answer. Not every opportunity needs a response. Waiting is no longer punishment. It is precision. God says, I paused everything so you could pause yourself. And here is the reassurance you need to hear again. Nothing good has passed you by. Nothing meant for you has been lost. The pause was protection, not denial. As this second movement settles, remember this truth deeply. You are not stuck. You are not confused. You are being repositioned. What comes next will require calm courage, not haste. Stay present, my beloved. The pause was intentional, and it is already working in your favor. My beloved, where understanding replaces uncertainty, the pause you experienced was not meant to leave you questioning yourself. It was meant to reveal what you had been overlooking while moving too fast. God says, I slowed you down so you could see clearly what speed was hiding. There are patterns in your life that have repeated quietly. Similar disappointments, similar conflicts, similar endings that seemed to come from different directions but carried the same feeling. My beloved, heaven wants you to recognize that these were not punishments. They were lessons asking for acknowledgement. In this part, awareness begins to settle. You start to see where you gave too much, waited too long, or stayed silent when your spirit was asking you to speak. This is not to shame you. It is to free you. God says, recognition is the doorway to release. You may feel emotions surface unexpectedly, sadness, relief, even anger. Let them pass through without judgment. Emotions are not enemies. They are messengers. Suppressing them delays healing. Honoring them completes cycles. My beloved, something important is happening now. Your inner voice is getting louder. The guidance you used to seek outside is beginning to rise from within. This is a sign of maturity, not isolation. You are also being shown the difference between patience and self-abandonment. Waiting for alignment is wisdom. Waiting while your values are compromised is not. Heaven is teaching you to know the difference. God says, do not call endurance what I never asked you to carry. In this phase, you may feel less available to drama, confusion, or emotional chaos. You crave simplicity. You crave honesty. You crave peace that does not require explanation. This is alignment deepening. My beloved, pay attention to your body now. Fatigue, tension, or restlessness may be signals asking for gentler rhythms. Rest is not retreat. It is recalibration. God paused everything so you could hear this clearly. You are allowed to choose ease without guilt. You have done enough proving. You have carried enough weight. You have learned what you needed to learn. This is also about forgiveness, not as an obligation, but as release. Forgiveness does not excuse behavior. It unhooks your future from the past. God says, what you release can no longer follow you. As this third movement completes, understand this, my beloved. The pause has already done its work. Clarity is forming. Discernment is strengthening. Your next steps will come from wisdom, not pressure. Stay still just a little longer. What is about to move will move cleanly, without confusion, without regret. And you will recognize it when it does. My beloved, this is Carrie's quiet power, not the kind that announces itself loudly, but the kind that rearranges your life from the inside. God says, now that you can see clearly, I am teaching you how to stand firmly. After awareness comes choice, not rushed decisions, not emotional reactions, but grounded choices rooted in truth. In this phase, you may notice that you are no longer pulled in every direction. Things that once confused you now feel strangely obvious. You are beginning to trust your discernment. My beloved, this is important. You are not becoming harder. You are becoming clearer. Clear boundaries can feel uncomfortable to those who benefited from your silence. Do not mistake their resistance for your wrongdoing. God says, clarity will offend those who thrived on your uncertainty. In this part, heaven is strengthening your spine, spiritually and emotionally. You may find yourself saying no without over-explaining, walking away without needing closure, choosing peace even when others expect you to argue. This is growth. You are also learning something sacred. Not everything needs your response. Silence, when chosen consciously, is wisdom, not weakness. You are allowed to conserve your energy. You are allowed to protect your inner world. My beloved, there is also a refinement happening in your desires. What once felt urgent now feels optional. What once felt necessary now feels heavy. God is aligning your wants with your purpose. God says, I am removing cravings that distract you from your calling. You may feel a gentle separation occurring from certain people, habits, or environments. This is not punishment. This is preparation. Elevation always requires space. Do not fear the distance. What is truly meant to walk with you will not be lost in it. In this stage, your faith matures. You stop asking for constant signs because you begin to recognize alignment by peace. Calm becomes confirmation. Stability becomes reassurance. My beloved, hear this carefully. You are not behind. You are not late. You are not missing anything meant for you. Divine timing is not measured by speed. It is measured by readiness. God says, what arrives before you are ready becomes a burden. Rest in this knowing. You do not need to chase what is already being arranged. Your role now is simple but powerful. Stay honest with yourself. As this fourth movement settles, you will feel steadier, less reactive, more rooted. You are becoming someone who does not need approval to trust their own path. Remain gentle. Remain grounded. Remain open. What unfolds next will require strength, and you are quietly building it now, my beloved. My beloved, this is about inner authority, the moment when you stop borrowing permission from the world and begin living from divine alignment within. God says, I am no longer teaching you how to survive. I am teaching you how to lead your own spirit. You may notice that something has shifted inside you. You are no longer seeking constant reassurance. The hunger to be understood by everyone has faded. This is not loneliness. This is self-trust being born. In this season, you are learning that confidence does not shout. It rests. You don't feel the need to announce who you are becoming because your life is beginning to speak for you. My beloved, There will be moments now where others misunderstand your calm. They may say you have changed. They are not wrong, but they are only seeing the surface. What has truly changed is that you no longer abandon yourself to keep peace. God says, peace that costs you your truth is not peace. It is delay. You are being taught to move with intention. Every yes matters. Every no matters. You are realizing that your energy is sacred currency, and not everyone has earned access to it. This is also the part where old emotional patterns dissolve. Reactions that once controlled you no longer have the same grip. You pause before responding. You observe before engaging. Wisdom is replacing impulse. My beloved, do not underestimate this phase. This is where many people turn back because empowerment feels unfamiliar. But you are staying. There may be moments of quiet discomfort when you are not who you used to be, but not fully who you are becoming. This space is holy. Do not rush it. God says, I do my deepest work in the in-between. In this stage, your intuition sharpens. You sense intentions before words are spoken. You feel when something is off, even if everything looks right. Trust this discernment. It is not suspicion, it is spiritual awareness. You are also learning patience of a higher kind. Not passive waiting, but active trust. You continue showing up, doing the work, nurturing your spirit, even when results are not yet visible. My beloved, heaven is not ignoring you. Heaven is arranging details you cannot yet see. You may feel called to simplify your schedule, your circle, your expectations. This is alignment. Complexity drains you. Clarity fuels you. God says, what is from me will not confuse you. Let go of the pressure to perform your faith. You don't need to prove how spiritual you are. Your consistency, your kindness, your integrity, these are your offerings. As this part settles, you will notice a quiet strength anchoring you. You are no longer moved by every opinion. You are no longer shaken by temporary storms. You are becoming rooted. Remain humble, my beloved. Not small, but grounded. What comes next will require courage, and you are being fortified for it now. Stay present. Stay honest. Stay aligned. The path ahead is opening, not suddenly, but surely. My beloved, this enters a deeper spiritual maturity, the stage where God refines not your circumstances, but your perception. God says, I am not removing every obstacle yet, because I am strengthening the one who walks through them. You may notice that challenges no longer shock you the way they once did. Instead of panic, there is awareness. Instead of fear, there is observation. This is not because life has become easier. It is because you have become steadier. My beloved, this is the season where discernment replaces emotional reaction. You are beginning to recognize patterns, not only in others, but within yourself. Habits that once operated unconsciously are now visible, and visibility is power. God says, what you can see clearly can no longer control you. There may be moments when you feel emotionally detached from things that once mattered deeply. Do not confuse this with coldness. This is clarity. You are learning the difference between love and attachment, between care and self-sacrifice that costs you your soul. In this part, God is teaching you emotional sovereignty. You are no longer responsible for fixing everyone, saving everyone, or carrying burdens that were never yours. Compassion remains, but it now has boundaries. My beloved, boundaries are not walls. They are doors with wisdom. You may also feel an urge to withdraw at times, to be quiet, to reflect, to protect your energy. This is not isolation. This is integration. Growth needs silence the way seeds need darkness. God says, I speak most clearly when distractions fall away. Your intuition is becoming more precise now. You sense timing. You sense motives. You sense when to act and when to wait. Trust this. You are not overthinking. You are tuning in. At the same time, patience is being stretched. Not the patience that waits passively, but the patience that continues faithfully without needing instant confirmation. This is where many give up, but you are still standing. My beloved, heaven sees your consistency even when no one applauds it. There may be delayed answers, slow progress, or silence where you expected clarity. Do not interpret silence as absence. God often works quietly when outcomes are significant. God says, I do not rush what must last. In this phase, comparison loses its grip. You are less interested in where others are and more focused on who you are becoming. This is a sign of true alignment. You may also feel a growing responsibility, not pressure, but purpose, a sense that your words, actions, and choices now carry weight. This is because you are being trusted with influence, even if it is subtle for now. My beloved, influence is not about numbers. It is about impact. Remain grounded. Continue choosing integrity when shortcuts appear. Continue choosing truth when comfort tempts you to compromise. This part is preparing you for a shift that requires wisdom more than speed, courage more than force. Stay gentle with yourself. Stay alert in spirit. Stay rooted in truth. What is unfolding is not accidental. It is deliberate. My beloved, this is where divine timing begins to reveal its precision, and the life you have been building quietly begins to take shape in ways that are undeniable. God says, I have paused nothing in vain. Every delay, every silence, every unanswered question was a preparation for the unveiling you are about to receive. You may notice subtle signs now. The right people entering your life at exact moments, opportunities appearing when you feel most aligned, confirmations through numbers, words, or synchronicities that cannot be ignored. These are not coincidences. They are heaven's orchestration, showing you that your life is on track even when it feels uncertain. My beloved, understand this clearly. The world may not recognize the work you are doing internally, but the divine sees it. Every act of integrity, every choice made quietly but intentionally, every moment you resisted compromise has built unshakable momentum beneath the surface. This is also the stage where patience deepens, not the waiting that frustrates, but the steady knowing that timing is precise. You no longer feel compelled to rush, to force, or to over-explain. What belongs to you will arrive with ease, not chaos. God says, I move mountains quietly for those who trust, not for those who chase. You may feel a heightened sense of protection around you. Boundaries you never consciously enforced are now naturally respected. People, situations, and energies that do not serve your alignment begin to drift away without confrontation. This is not rejection. This is divine filtration. My beloved, notice also the way your intuition sharpens during this part. You sense motives before words are spoken. You feel when a path is true without needing proof. You know when to act, when to wait, and when to simply observe. This is spiritual authority forming within you. God says, those who can wait without doubt are ready for the unseen. As clarity settles, you may also feel compelled to simplify your life. Old habits, attachments, and expectations that no longer serve you will feel heavy, even suffocating. Do not resist this process. Releasing these weights is necessary for expansion. My beloved, this is the time when your energy communicates louder than your words. What you emit in calm confidence will attract the opportunities, people, and blessings that resonate with your highest purpose. No effort beyond your presence is required. You may also notice that external challenges begin to test the strength of your internal calm. Someone may provoke, distract, or attempt to derail your focus. This is not punishment. It is a confirmation of your growth. The way you respond now, with patience, discernment, and integrity, ensures the blessings you are stepping into will remain steady. God says, "The one who remains composed in storms will stand when others fall." In this part, your gratitude becomes a powerful magnet. Small acknowledgments of what is working, moments of appreciation for the lessons learned, and recognition of your own resilience amplify your alignment. Gratitude is no longer a habit, it is a force. My beloved, understand this. The pace may feel slow at times, but the results are precise and unstoppable. You are no longer building on uncertainty. You are building on divine timing, intention, and preparation that cannot be undone. Stay observant. Stay patient. Stay grounded. The path ahead is clear, yet still mysterious. And that mystery is the space where miracles are born. You are no longer a wanderer. You are a chosen participant in the unfolding plan, and every choice you make now carries weight beyond the visible. Trust this, my beloved. Your alignment is no longer in question. Your next steps are being supported, guarded, and directed by the unseen, working perfectly in your favor. This is the threshold of your breakthrough, steady, quiet, inevitable. My beloved, this is where miracles begin to materialize in plain sight, yet they are subtle enough that only your awakened perception can recognize them. God says, "I am revealing the outcomes of your faith. What you have waited for, prayed for, and protected is now preparing to present itself in forms you can act upon." You may notice doors opening that were previously closed. Opportunities you didn't even know existed arrive quietly, often disguised as ordinary events. People show up, messages arrive, and situations align in ways that seem almost orchestrated. My beloved, this is not coincidence. This is divine momentum manifesting. Your intuition now functions like a compass calibrated by heaven itself. You sense directions to move, decisions to make, and people to trust without second guessing. Pay attention to these nudges. They are your map. Acting on them will save you from unnecessary struggle. God says, "I have placed signs along your path. Those who watch carefully will not stumble." My beloved, you may also feel a deepening sense of peace amidst movement. Chaos may still appear around you, but it no longer shakes your center. This is a sign that your alignment is rooted deeply. You are no longer dependent on external validation. Your guidance comes from the divine. As this phase unfolds, you might witness synchronicities that leave no room for doubt. Numbers repeating in sequence. Unexpected financial blessings. Encounters that feel like destiny. Every small confirmation is a thread weaving your life into the design heaven intended. God says, "Notice the patterns I place. They are proof of my hand and my timing." This is also a period of refining your energy. You begin to sense the difference between those who uplift and those who drain. You naturally distance yourself from chaos without guilt. Boundaries become effortless. Your presence becomes a force of alignment. My beloved, do not be surprised if your dreams, once hazy and distant, begin to feel tangible. They may come as whispers, images, or ideas that seem too precise to be imagination. Trust these impressions. They are the blueprint of your next steps. God says, "What you once only imagined is now within reach because you stayed true to the path I set before you." You may also feel a sense of anticipation mixed with calm. This is not anxiety. It is preparation for expansion. What has been held back for your protection is now being released carefully. Nothing moves too quickly because alignment does not rush, it orchestrates. My beloved, remember that your faith has been the anchor. Your patience has been the shield. Your integrity has been the key. All that you have maintained quietly is now beginning to bear visible fruit. God is asking you to remain vigilant, not tense, alert, not anxious. Every choice now matters because it shapes the trajectory of the blessings arriving. You are stepping into a rhythm that honors your readiness and preserves your energy. My beloved, the message of Part 8 is this: see clearly, act wisely, and stay present. Do not chase what comes to you. Welcome it with discernment. Protect your heart, maintain your focus, and embrace the subtle confirmations as they appear. This is the threshold of active manifestation. What has been prepared for you now moves into visibility. Step forward carefully, my beloved, with faith in what you cannot yet fully see, but that heaven is already aligning in your favor. Your breakthrough is no longer distant. It is quietly arriving. Stay grounded. Stay discerning. Stay open, because what is coming will honor every moment you have waited. My beloved, this is where revelation meets responsibility. What has been quietly aligning now begins to call for your conscious participation. The blessings you have prepared for are arriving, but they require awareness, action, and discernment to fully manifest. God says, I am showing you the first glimpses of what I intended, but how you steward it will determine its permanence. You may notice subtle shifts in your environment. People, opportunities, and circumstances appear in ways that seem orchestrated, almost too perfect to be random. My beloved, these are confirmations that the universe is working in your favor. But notice carefully, not every door that opens is yours to walk through. Some are tests, some are lessons, and some are distractions disguised as blessings. Now is the time to discern intention in all things. Your heart will recognize authenticity, but only if you pause long enough to feel it. Act too quickly, and you may bypass the subtle signals God is placing in your path. God says, what comes to you too quickly may bypass your wisdom. Take time to recognize truth. My beloved, your intuition is sharper than ever now. You sense energies, intentions, and timing like never before. Pay attention to what feels heavy versus what feels light. What lifts your spirit and what pulls it down. This is your internal compass, the one heaven designed to guide you through the final layers of alignment. In this phase, some of you may feel pressure from the outside world. Old connections may resist your growth. Some will misunderstand your boundaries, your choices, and your calm authority. This is natural. Do not argue or justify. Your role is to stand firm in what is true. What belongs to you will not require coercion. God says, I am separating what is yours from what only pretends to be. Trust my process. You may also notice moments of reflection surfacing more frequently. Times when your mind lingers on questions of purpose, identity, and next steps. This is not doubt. It is preparation for higher responsibility. God is refining your awareness so that when the time comes to act, you do so with confidence and clarity. My beloved, this is also the phase where patience meets opportunity. Do not rush manifestations just because signs appear. They are like seedlings, tender, delicate, and needing careful tending. Your role is to nurture them with faith, focus, and intention. God says, do not mistake arrival for completion. Stewardship is as important as provision. Your relationships, your finances, your work, your spiritual practices, all are being realigned to support the life you are meant to live. Some elements may feel sudden, others gradual. But everything will confirm itself over time if you honor it properly. My beloved, in this stage, clarity is your currency. Speak when necessary, act when prompted, and remain silent when guidance asks you to observe. The difference between success and misstep now is subtle but significant. You are also being reminded that gratitude and humility anchor blessing. Celebrate quietly, acknowledge internally, and let heaven be the witness. Do not broadcast or boast prematurely. What is meant for you will shine unmistakably in its own time. God says, I reveal what is ready and keep hidden what is premature. Trust my timing over your urgency. My beloved, understand that every challenge you encounter now is a mirror. It reflects your readiness to handle the abundance, influence, and clarity that is entering your life. Face them not with fear, but with the calm authority that you have been cultivating through all the previous phases. As this settles, know this: you are on the threshold of your breakthrough. The things you have prayed for, protected your energy for, and waited for patiently are now moving into your sphere. But you must remain grounded, discerning, and faithful. Stay vigilant. Stay humble. Stay aligned. Because the 10th part will reveal how to fully claim and sustain the blessings without losing the peace and integrity you have earned. Your time of preparation is ending, my beloved. Your time of active manifestation is beginning. My beloved, this is the culmination, the moment where patience, faith, and preparation converge into manifestation. This is where what you have guarded, waited for, and prayed over begins to unfold tangibly before your eyes. God says, I have brought you to this threshold so you may see that nothing you endured was wasted. Every pause, every test, every moment of quiet was a necessary thread in the tapestry of your destiny. You will notice that the opportunities, people, and blessings that were once invisible or delayed are now presenting themselves clearly. Some may come with fanfare, others quietly, but all are aligned perfectly with your highest good. My beloved, recognize these arrivals. They are confirmations that your alignment has been honored. At this stage, heaven asks you to act with wisdom, not urgency. Do not be tempted to rush what is naturally unfolding. What is meant for you requires steady stewardship, not force. Acting in haste may disturb the delicate balance that has been orchestrated for your highest outcome. God says, blessings that are seized prematurely can lose their power. Receive, honor, and then move with clarity. My beloved, you may feel an overwhelming sense of awe or disbelief. This is natural. You have waited, questioned, and grown. The mind may struggle to comprehend the scale of what is coming, but your spirit already knows. Trust it. Your intuition, your inner calm, your discernment, these are the final guides in this phase. In this part, you will also notice that your influence has expanded. Your choices carry more weight. Your words resonate more deeply. What you attract now is not just for your benefit, but for the collective around you. You are stepping into a role of quiet authority, not through dominance, but through alignment, integrity, and the resonance of your energy. God says, you are ready to wield your life as a vessel of purpose, not as a reaction to circumstance. My beloved, remember the lessons of the pause, the tests, and the discernment you have cultivated. They were all meant to teach you how to hold your blessing without being consumed by it. Do not allow fear, pride, or distraction to dilute what has been prepared. Stay anchored in gratitude, humility, and presence. As these manifestations begin to appear, there may be people who misunderstand, who are surprised, or even who feel threatened by your rise. This is not a reflection of you, but a reflection of their inability to align with the same level of divine timing and clarity. My beloved, do not engage in proving yourself. Stand in your truth quietly and confidently. God says, "What is truly yours will flourish without argument or struggle." Guard your peace above all. At this moment, you may feel an extraordinary sense of possibility. Doors that were once hidden are now ajar. Conversations that were delayed are now happening. Synchronicities that seemed subtle are now undeniable confirmations. My beloved, these are the signals that you are ready to step fully into your intended path. This is also the time to solidify your spiritual practices, meditation, prayer, reflection, because the external blessings are reflections of your inner alignment. What is manifesting is not just opportunity. It is a mirror of the maturity and readiness you have cultivated. God says, "The world will present its illusions, but your inner clarity will discern truth effortlessly. Walk in it." My beloved, as you receive these blessings, remember to anchor them with intention. Express gratitude daily, remain humble, and continue to honor the spiritual laws that guided you here. Your breakthrough is not only for you, it is a beacon for others who are watching, learning, and inspired by the alignment you have achieved. This cycle, the pause, the awareness, the discernment, the protection, the patience, and now the manifestation. You are fully equipped, fully aligned, and fully ready. The miracles, the confirmations, the abundance, they are yours to step into because you remained faithful, patient, and discerning through every stage. Stay grounded, my beloved. Stay humble. Stay alert to the signs, the synchronicities, and the subtle confirmations around you. The life you have been prepared for is not coming in fragments anymore. It is arriving whole. Step into it with courage, gratitude, and unwavering faith. God says, "I have paused, I have guided, I have protected. Now I ask you to receive fully, walk boldly, and trust without hesitation." This is your time, my beloved. The pause is over. The alignment is complete. The blessings are real, visible, and waiting for your conscious embrace. Walk forward, knowing that heaven has meticulously prepared everything for your rise. Do not rush, do not doubt, do not fear. Only trust, act, and step into the fullness of what is meant for you. Your moment is here, my beloved. Heaven awaits your acknowledgement, and your life will never be the same again.